This was a tough matchup, but I personally, you're gonna get into it. I
Yeah.
personally feel like the problem here that you will see, you'll find a lot of issues, but I personally feel like it's there is a roam timer that he goes for. I mean, there isn't roam timer, but he decides to roam, and as a consequence of that, his mid lane turret falls, and
Mhm.
the whole game is just gone after that.
I mean, we're about to find out. Yeah, so it's the 7th of July. Or not 7th of July, the 4th of July, actually. So,
Yes, it's America Day.
so if, yeah, happy birthday, Americans.
Yeah, America is
4th of July.
2023 years old today.
Anyways, let's see here. So we got Katarina Z. Let's see. Cologne still hasn't rejoined. Okay, good. Can I? Is there a way to? Oh, can you do? Oh, you can only edit and I thought you could like maybe use an epic pen in the directly in there.
Is this OBS?
No, this is just movies and films.
Okay.
But I am recording with OBS, yes. Okay, we decided to go AP Katarina. We have Dark Seal. Okay. Level 1 in this matchup, it's usually gonna be can you dodge said shurikens or not? Trading auto attacks usually isn't the play. The answer is no, we cannot. So that's unfortunate. But other than that, just try to sit back into level 2. And at level 2, you can start taking short trades by using E to avoid shurikens, and then you should always win the trade. Did Zed have electrocute or? I'm assuming not.
He has
No,
electrocute.
he has
think,
electrocute
yeah.
and sorcery second. He has the standard electrocute page for Zed.
Where did you see that?
The reason why I can tell you that is he got a taste of blood stack and he had a scorch
Okay.
stack. So this means he has both dabbled into sorcery and into domination. Which the only logical
Okay.
page that exists is electrocute with sorcery second with transcendent scorch.
Okay.
Unless he has like phase rush, but I don't think so. There we go, Cologne's back.
My PC just had a mental breakdown. Holy shit.
So I will do a friendly reminder that I am recording. So keep your language in mind. You didn't say anything incorrect at the moment. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Are you back now? Okay, we can restart the video here. So there we go. You can see the pages as well. So electrocute with sorcery second. So Callone, before we get into this, anything particular you want to let me know before we watch, or
in terms of what?
There is a vote.
No, like in terms of what?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of anything, like, is there any specific note you want to give me of like, oh, I think this game I played it well early on, or maybe you think you did a good roam or you did a bad roam, or like
this
any
game,
notes?
Well, this game, right?
Yeah.
In one lane, right, got like a little bit of lead, but like in terms of kills, but couldn't really do anything with it. So I'm trying to like see what I could have just done differently this game to snowball more.
Okay, so level 1 in this matchup, what happens, Colin? What should happen here?
I just stand back, cue the minions. That's about it. Because if I walk up, Zed just kills me with probably Scorch and just outtrades me.
So you don't think you can be aggressive and try to avoid his Qs and see if you can get some poke in yourself?
Yeah, if he walks up, misses a Q, yeah, then it's possible.
Misses a Q. So you're saying you're not comfortable dodging a Q?
What?
You're not comfortable dodging Qs? That Qs.
No, yes, but like if he misses it, it's because I dodge it, or he just whiffs it.
Yeah, we've watched a little bit of the video, so I know what's about to happen, everyone. But we do know that we do not win extended trades, yeah. Especially since none of us have Conqueror, and he has an AD champion versus an AP champion because we didn't do Longsword start ourselves. Because we're a pretty AD heavy team. So we decided we wanted to do a little bit more of an AP focused build. Which is fine. We also have refill versus 3 potions. So the longer the lane goes and we get to recall, the better it is for us. Runes. I'm assuming you have a standard rune page of Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, Treasure Hunter, and
No,
Triumph and Coup de Grace.
I have Relentless Hunter and Triumph Coup de Grace, yeah.
So it looks like your game plan right now is just to get to level 2 without taking minimal poke as possible, yes?
Yeah.
That's your game plan. And you don't really mind sacking a little bit of gold in order to stay healthy.
Why the fuck did I ping Krugs?
That's a good question.
Oh wait, yeah, with veggies. Okay, never mind. I remember. Me and Veggies were talking about something from the previous game.
Yeah, I have muted the audio because you can hear veggies if you have the audio on.
Oh no, you hear him, but yeah.
So after you take this trade, why do we want to continue? Again, we're like the AD champion versus the AP champion, right? Or with the AP champion versus the AD champion. So he misses his combo, so all he has is auto attacks for the next like couple of seconds. But the issue is like we're in his minion wave, we're tanking auto attack for auto attack basically, and then we just gave him his electrocute proc. If you trade this without him getting his electrocute proc off, you basically win the trade.
So what you're saying after this so after this just E out.
Yeah, no. So after you do the Q in, you just press W and then you just run out. Because if he tries to follow you, you can always E in back, because then he'll be in your minion wave instead.
So right now W
So you
out.
W and run away out, yeah.
Alright.
You take so much minion damage here.
Yeah. Probably could have saved Q to kill that melee instead of the range as well. Nier should have pinged my Warwick off, I think, since he's not paying attention to mid state.
Not really, because they were fighting for almost 20 seconds, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think you should ping him off, because you should actually walk up a little bit more confident so that it doesn't rotate. But realistically, Warwick and Graves' fight should have already been over by this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really move our camera, so we have no clue if Graves is 1 HP and we can just get a reset and kill both. So I think camera movement is a little bit of an issue here. The pinging I'm less concerned with, because again, due to the fact that the fight literally went on for almost 30 seconds. If it was like they start fighting and immediately Zed rotates, then maybe you should ping him off.
Mm-hmm.
But since the fight was already going on for so long, I would have said
And he
that
doesn't.
the
Yeah,
fight
I
should
mean
have been over, like,
Mhm.
at some point.
Wait, when was? Mhm. By the way, here I had a very good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It was just to get my HP a bit lower. So the Z wants to all in me, of course, right? And then I
Yeah,
can
but that
bait.
was a very poor choice for him to all
No,
in
but
that specific time. If you just WEQs,
mm-hmm.
like just insta WEQ ignites, you're dead. He doesn't even need to ult here, and then if you do manage to escape on low HP, you can always, like, this W doesn't achieve him anything. If he just regularly ults you, you just die.
Yeah.
Just ults you and then follows you with W, ults back.
I mean, to be honest, I could have also E-flashed away though, if he decided to do that.
Yeah, maybe. But then
But
again,
because I
like,
saw his W placing there, I just E'd away. Because I know he's not gonna kill me with just Q. E. Like if I am right here, it's just Q.
yeah,
And if
but
he
think of
doesn't
it
die.
like this. He missed every single Q.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means all he needs to do is hit one Q and you probably die.
Probably.
So all he did was Alt Auto E. That's all he did.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, with an extra Q hit plus like the extra damage from ultimate that the Q would do, you'd probably die from that. So yeah, I think he played it very bad there. But nice, you get the ult.
See, I mean, I'm just being careful for like WQ.
I mean, you don't die to the WQ, you die to the flash.
Yeah. The flash auto.
Or the flash WQ. Because regular WQ is not going to kill you, it's the auto attack afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Or the EQ. Will electrocute.
Yes, I'm pretty proud of this after. Because you're right. Perma shoved in by this set, right?
You do know that you're still losing the lane, right?
Yeah, but watch this. watch this, please. This is probably the most this set did the smartest Z player I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Mm-hmm. You do know that you're still like very much so behind, right?
Yep.
Because
The
like
kill
you've
fetch.
been denied so much waves, like he's still doubling your CS.
Mm-hmm. And
So
with
you
the
still
kill, it
can't
puts
really
me to
fight him.
65 CS, right? I think it's 15 gold per kill.
It's around 16, I think.
Oh, yeah, but then it still puts him ahead anyways.
Yeah.
And here I go Seeker's Arm Guard because I wanted to go Zonia's scheme, like third item after Rocket Bolt. So I thought Cloth Armor wouldn't be enough as well since he's gonna get Duskblade this game. Like right now anyways. So it's just better off to buy Arm Guard. So I also get the armor stats from it.
You don't really ever. You should not get it by that though. You need to eat those. That's 101 versus set. You need to avoid getting the electrocute, like the double Q hits. You need to eat the cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that's like the bread and butter trade with Zed. You just WEQ until they're low enough, and then you hold in. So if you can avoid getting chunked out by the electrocute procs, then you're good to go. See, like that trade would have been fine. I mean, he's just dead now.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have flash.
No, there'll be an ult that.
And you get Warwick Gank as well, yeah?
Yep.
So you're not really even now, but you're getting closer to it.
I'm still gonna be up in XP right now though, I think. Because he doesn't get this wave.
Just get the wave he misses 1 minion.
Oh.
Or 2 minions because he already missed one. But he should get the XP for the cannon. Unless he stays in base for an extended period of time. But yeah, he's still doubling your CS, so...
Yeah.
Well, not really, but almost.
He has tier 2 boots, mythic, and I just have components right now.
Like, yeah, taking that trade, yeah, it's not great, but it's 10 times better than getting hit by the double shurikens, especially raw shurikens.
Mm-hmm.
Also something you want to try to avoid, but
And here I saw the what's it called Jinx. Yeah, I wanted to go in, but then I saw Jinx, so I decided not to.
Why are you scared?
Uh, ult ignite.
Yeah, but you have a Janna here that's gonna shield you. She still has ult, possibly has exhaust as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason why you don't just take the dagger there. You still have another jump as well, so you should be able to dodge the shurikens.
Mm-hmm.
So your Janna is completely justified in wondering what you're doing.
Yeah. Could have just recalled here instead since I wasn't going for the play anyways.
Yep. You either recall or you cancel it immediately and try to go for something, but the half-ass I'm not gonna recall, I'm not gonna fight thing that you're doing right now is very bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely bad actually.
So yeah, I was just waiting for Gwen ult to go in.
Yeah, it's very bad for your tempo.
Yeah. Because I does he have a 140 hertz monitor?
I do, but
Ah,
I
that's
have two monitors.
that's right. Because I know it looks painful to watch my own clip.
Yeah, no, it's currently on the worst monitor. It's not the one I'm gaming on.
Oh.
This is I have my Discord on this monitor. I have my YouTube on the side, my Spotify on this monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I do have a better monitor than the one on my screen that I'm currently showing. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're fucked up as well, and I recognize it. So what I did here was flash into boost and face check him full HP and actually trade 1-for-1. When I could have probably just kept my full HP, shoved the wave because he's low now. So you just don't flash in the bush.
Flash is very much so unnecessary. Again, very similar to the Aphelios, if you remember. So, well, this is fine. EW ult, that's fine.
And
So right here, you just walk like this, just to make sure he doesn't like. You wait and see if he tries to run out of the bush.
Yep.
You wait for Q cooldown. Then you
Mm-hmm.
just calmly like zigzag your way into the bush because like he's sometimes gonna try to throw skill shots at you. So you just
Mm-hmm.
like slowly do like this zigzag of like it's not supposed to take too long in case he just recalls. But you're gonna time it as if you were gonna like insta recall right now, you would have enough time to still cancel the recall. Because you don't need to stress this at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you just run like this, you take the minions, you hit them calmly, yada yada yada, and then you just zigzag in with QE, and he insta dies. And then if you do need the flash, you still have it.
Yep. And I can, yeah.
And even if you don't need the flash, you just auto E auto, and then he dies.
Yeah, I canceled one auto, I think.
We very much so over fancied the very simple play.
Yeah. And here I said it to veggies as well in VC.
I don't trust what's gonna go on in the VC, so we're just gonna skip out on that for now. We can always come back to it later. Then to Gwen, what is our like main queue of like we can trade with this person?
Oh, when she doesn't have EQ. Or W if she wastes it for some reason.
Yeah, okay,
But
so the first thing is like, okay, does she
mostly,
waste
yeah.
her W? But mostly, again, yeah, it's what you said. Is if she just used her Q.
Yeah, no Q stacks thingy.
Yeah, so if she just like was on purple stacks, means like 4 stacks, and then uses it, that's her time to like look for a quick trade. And you can try to extend it by a very small amount to see if you can bait her ultimate, and then you just dash away.
So just EW in if she ults, E out, or if it's
Yeah,
kill.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just EWQ, and then use the second E to jump out if she decides to go in. Okay, camera control is a little bit off again. Just like we have Aurelia on the minimap coming in. And when she actually gets close, you need to like see what's going on. Like right around now. Like Aurelia is like right next to Zillion. And you need to know like, did she hit stun?
Yeah.
Did she ult? Did Zillion ult? Did someone flash? Did he exhaust? Like all of the important information we're not having until this point.
Yeah, what I was focused on here was the Warwick having a minor disagreement with our call because he has deafened himself. And therefore he recalled.
Yeah, you're focusing a little bit too much on your Warwick rather than what actually is happening. So Aurelia goes in.
No, she didn't go in. She just...
No, she did. She did go in, and everyone else is just not doing anything. And then, okay, there's teleport. She's still going in. I would just leave her with Janna ult up and everything. And then instead of just again looking to see maybe there's a quadra kill for you there, which I do think there might be,
Yeah.
we're typing to our Warwick instead. That is literally deafened, so
Yeah.
and then there's another pick on the Jinx. Pretty free kill right now. We
Mm-hmm.
don't care.
I have heard you said that as well, yeah. But I noticed it too late. I was just a bit fucked by the Warwick here.
I mean, you're saying it's Warwick's fault, but you trying to type
No,
makes
like I
you
mean, I
just
was
as
too.
much of a
No, I
problem.
was too focused on the Warwick here. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing. That makes you just as much of an accomplice,
yeah.
if not worse. Careful about the Jinx rocket.
Mhm. She doesn't.
It
Open
might
it
still
yet.
be on cooldown, but
Yeah.
the potential is there, so be ready to like see if you can walk so you're not in a straight line to where your
Yeah.
jump would be. So you would have two options of like, oh, she's gonna hit me. Okay, I need to have some place to jump to, or she's not gonna hit me, in which case you just stand still. What's the play right now?
Baron is up. Bot lane is dead. Probably push bot or 3v5 Baron.
Those are the two options, yes. Well, there's a couple more options, but those are the two options that I think are good. So why do you think that I think it's a decent option to try to fight Baron right now?
Because you'd assume if MF and Jan are dead, they probably made them low or use like sums, and they have Baron debuff right now because they're taking
You
it.
pinged the reason, by the way, why it's a decent fight earlier.
Oh yeah, because they don't have ultimates.
They just used their
Yep.
two most useful ultimates against you, which is Zed and Zillion, and then they
Yep.
also use Graves ulti.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but Jinx might have used ult as well, which doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, that's more.
So they don't have Zillion ulti, which is the most important ulti because that denies you the resets, and they also don't have Zed ulti to avoid dying as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I think it would have been completely fine if you just try to fight it there. And
Just
they're
leave
not
it
really
there.
that tanky of a team, so you can probably look to pick up a quadra kill right there. And Gwen wasn't even there as well. Which again, we couldn't know that for sure, but even if she was, I would have probably gone for it.
Yeah. Yeah, just say.
I don't say we just dive in bots instead, which happens. I like that you pinged her teleport even though there was no indication that she ever
No,
teleported.
no. Me like Veggies thought like maybe a teleport, and then I told them they no. I
Because
just
she
walked
didn't
in.
get the assist on the Baron, so
Yeah.
she wasn't actually there. So the possibility of her not teleporting is quite high.
Yeah, but like Veggie thought like we thought like what's it called? She got to the tower fast, but then I was like maybe just walked. I didn't really look at the tower, so I couldn't have seen the TP. Anyways, it would make more sense for her to just have walked bot. Anyways.
At this point, the game is pretty much done and dusted, unless there's something
Unless,
that goes majorly wrong for the enemy team.
yeah, unless they just run it down.
Yeah, I think the Baron is like one of those like calls where you just have to identify that you did identify. Again, they had no important
Yeah.
ultimates,
No,
but you
like yeah, I
actually
would
just have to flip it at that point.
like if I was playing Hecarim, for example, I would 1v5 that, but I thought like if I ping on the way, is my warrior gonna come? And then do we win the 2v5?
I don't care if Warwick shows up or not. Aurelia was ready to do it, and if you and Aurelia go there, and Aurelia hits a good ult, you could probably pick up the 4 kills, 5 kills, and get the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you play it semi-human.
Mm-hmm.
One. And we didn't really care about the Zed, I see.
Yeah, you ought to miss that.
Yeah, I guess that's just like half a second window there, but yeah, but you're definitely focusing too much on
Yeah.
what the fuck this Warwick was doing, rather than your own game, which
Yeah.
definitely hurt you a little bit. There was a lot of decisions and mainly camera as well, where you were more focused on typing rather than playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Laning phase, I think you played it a little bit incorrect as well in the Z matchup, where we didn't really go for extended fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like where we did do extended fights where we were not supposed to.
Yeah. I should have eat that, so I don't go for the extended.
So and fourth, fifth, and fifth. What else? I guess we can go to the ratings. I already put some of them in. Again, I think your farming was abysmal that game. It would be an F if it was any other champion than Katarina. But considering it's Katarina, it could be worse. I've seen worse. So, but yeah, definitely try to get a little bit more CS. And especially if you are giving up CS early, be aware that you cannot still die to him after that, right? Like you make the conscious decision of I'm gonna give up CS in order to either gain that lead or have him have like a 10 CS lead now, and then at 10 minutes he still only has 10 CS lead.
Yep.
Or you go like, oh, I'll give him 20 CS now so I don't get poked, but in exchange that means I can kill him later.
Yeah.
Like you trade the CS that you're not getting early on to get something in the future.
Which in this
So
case is ganking him twice, and could have been 3 if I went in with Janna.
no, you still got poked out. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like in this matchup, if you choose to like miss CS in order to not get poked, then don't get poked after and don't get the CS, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So try to stay healthy and see if you can get a kill, or maybe just at some point force his resources and then push him out and then roam or recall.
Mm-hmm.
Or do whatever you feel like is appropriate for the game. Wave understand. I didn't pay attention to that, so not applicable. Camera control needs some work. Early on, it was more like your camera control is fine, but you're focusing on the wrong thing when it comes to camera control. Because, like, I saw you were using some F keys sometimes, but you have to swap your camera when there's action going on or like something happened. That's when you need to move your camera, not when Aurelia is farming her wave and Gwen is recalling. That doesn't really matter too much. Prioritization, say non-applicable. Mechanics in lane. Mechanics in lane.
But considering I could have E'd out no with the short trade.
Yeah, I think you could have dodged a lot more Qs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if there's ever like an There isn't really any like extended 1v1 all in where we can be like, okay, here we could have done this.
The
this,
only
this.
all in was the 1v1 in bot lane where I flashed into the bush.
Yeah, I would say that's more like late game, but I'll say it's not great, but it's not horrible. You know, I guess it needs some work, but it could be worse. Could be worse. Maybe I need to add that to could be worse. I'll be nice enough and say D plus.
D plus,
Yeah.
just like it's like the
Yeah, it's like it doesn't really need that much work, but it's also not okay. You know.
Mhm.
Mechanics in late game. I'm mainly looking at that one bot and then just the general one. I think it's definitely better than like early on. Recalls for this game, pretty much awful. I think the Graves game as well. You're running around with a lot of gold quite often. Again, you
Mhm.
died for no reason. I noted it down. This is for so I'll definitely say try to not get chunked, which would then fix your recalls because then you'd be healthier and you'd be able to take more CS, which then means you would be having better recalls and so on and so forth. Again, back to the topic on the Graves game, I think your game flow was fine. I added this as well because of it. But in this game, it's very much awful. Which again, it's mostly due to that one fight in mid lane.
Mhm.
Right around here, where we don't recall at all. We just stand around in mid lane for, let's see, it starts at around 13, let's say 13, 15.
Mhm.
So like almost a minute and a half of doing nothing. Of us just like standing around mid lane
Mhm.
doing basically that. Because even though you say, oh, but the Gwen killed out, I'm pretty sure, maybe not, but I'm pretty sure they can do this without you. And even if they can't, it's just a Gwen kill at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Which again, yeah, it's a nice shutdown, but you can't justify staying around in mid lane for a minute just for the potential part of Gwen griefing it.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I will say it was really bad. Again, that's the main game flow error I see. Again, in the Graves game, I think your game flow was fine. You were looking for the closest gold. You were running around. They were doing dragon. You were taking Nuno's top side. You were rotating on further. Took Hexgate, got out. You recalled. You went bot. You took your own jungle camp spots that weren't yours, but if it's late game, it's whoever takes them that gets them. Then you went bot, then you rotated, and you get the next money, which is really good. That's really good game flow, and I think that's very good. Vision, don't care. Not really applicable. That's more for other lanes actually. Communication.
Yes, bro. The missing things on the Warwick.
Yeah, the missing pings that's telling Warwick that he's a bad player. Yeah, very good, very good. Assessment. I'll just say this. I don't get too much into it. I don't think it's important. At least not for this game. Roaming didn't really happen. Just give it a C because nothing really happened. Jungle tracking, applicable. Team fighting. I think your team fighting was okay. I don't think there was anything too off about the team fighting, except again the camera control of deciding when to team fight or how to team fight.
Mhm.
When it actually came to the team fighting itself, I think it was fine. And objective control is not really applicable. So if I had to give you some homework, stop caring about teammates. Focus on players who do want meaning the Aurelia wanted to win, but you were too busy flaming the Warwick to actually help her out and try to win.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two things that I think were most visual for this VOD. Other things, again, I noted that I saw a theme was once it gets to mid to late game, you just get bored. You're just like, nothing's happening. I need to force something. Which, if you're behind, forcing is a lot better than when you're ahead. But if you're the one in control,
Mm-hmm.
trying to minimize risk is the way to go. So we head try to minimize unnecessary risk, which means don't fight when you're fed Hecarim jungle. Just used ult and ghost and recalled. Don't force a random fight in enemy jungle after you already fought them there for 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Like, don't do that unnecessary stuff. When you gotta win, just take the win, reset, get your gold on the map, get your cooldowns refreshed, and then fight again.
Mm-hmm.
When behind, risking.
So you're saying when ahead, become cautious, and when behind, just let hell loose. Yes.
No, when you're behind, again, like this game, if we can pull that up real quick. There you go. Was the one play where your bot lane dies, and they do Baron, right?
So you mean this risky play we go for Baron there? 2v5?
It's not really risky, right? Like, that's the thing. So if you're ahead, right? Like, let's say your team just took a bad fight, they got caught, 2 people died,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like 20 kills ahead. Then I would never go for the Baron. Like, let's say you all have big shutdowns, just leave it at that. Just be like, okay, it's fine, whatever. Call it a day. Go bot, farm your waves. You'll win the next fight. But in this case, you're behind, right? Like a little bit at least. Like your Aurelia is 1 and 4, your Warwick's 1 and 4, or 1 and 3. Like, you're not really doing too great. Then they just used their important cooldowns. So going for this fight is risky in quotation, but not risky enough to where it's a good opportunity for you to make a comeback. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
So I think you should go for it. Yes. Yeah, but I think that's about it. I would have said you can go play a live game, but we've already been here for more than 1.5 hours for undisclosed reasons.
Can't
So,
even log in. There's like
yeah,
can't log into League. Can you guys?
I can check. But that's it for this coaching session. Again, the video itself is only going to be 50 minutes, but we've been here for almost 3 hours or 2 hours. So yeah, it's great.